Good morning. What's happening? Happy Wednesday, the 26th, I believe, of August. Welcome to Live 365. How are you guys? Thank you to you guys that play it on the rewind, catch it later in the day, aren't able to join us at 8 a.m. Eastern. But I do appreciate you guys that roll with me every day. So thank you for being here. Let me know. Make sure you can hear me all right. It's always fun when I go a minute or two deep and realize I'm muted or something crazy like that. So good morning, Kevin Hawthorne from down in Florida. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, the 8 o'clock hour. Beautiful banger of a day today. Going to be low 70s, sunny, beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous. It's a great day to be alive. Good morning, Krista on Instagram. Good to see you. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning, Fred Turner. What's up, Dad? How are you? Yeah, Tim Kasperzak. Happy Wednesday to you as well. Thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks for joining us. Day 607, something like that, in a row, without interruption. A couple of close calls along the way. I think one time I did it at 9 or 10 at night, but we got it in. Good morning, Zach. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you guys jumping in. Guys, you can catch this on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. So, I link it up to LinkedIn, and I'm like, nobody ever watches on LinkedIn, but I keep doing it. And wouldn't you know it, last week I got a call from someone that said, and I said, hey, how did you hear about me? Well, I saw some of your videos on LinkedIn. So there you go. Steve Gerard, good morning. Good to see you, buddy. And top of the morning to you as well. Rachel, good to see you. Andrea Gooch, good to see you. Yeah, we are enjoying being home. We got a lot to do, though. Less intense stuff, though, and a reduced pace, which is good. Good morning, Premier Pawns. How are you? What's happening? Yeah, we don't have to be quite in the fight or flight mode now. We're in, that doesn't mean I don't have stacks of boxes around me and that kind of stuff. So totes, we're big Costco totes people. If you haven't realized that already, if it doesn't fit in a Costco tote, I'm not getting it. Try to stay organized, but yeah, we're getting there. Living rooms put together, coming together. Got to do things like bathroom mirrors and get the rest of the doors hung. Got them all painted, so stuff like that. Wrestled with the baseboard radiation the other day. The covers, if you ever put new covers on existing fin tube, that's a treat. So the hands are healing up from that, getting sliced and diced. Yeah, Rachel, I love-hate relationship with LinkedIn, but normally if I post something, I just get a bunch of solicitations for, people that want to do my social, or people that want to get me a bunch of leads, all that stuff. I get it. It's B2B, but it can get old. So anyway, but we paint with a broad brush. You never know where people can find you, where they may find you. And always ask, if you're on a sales call, hey, just by the way, before we get going, how'd you hear about me? And keep track of it, right? Good morning, Bubba Hogan. Good morning, beautiful. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, well, hey, things can be chaotic, right? I want to talk today about being the calm in the chaos. So good morning. If you're just joining us or you're watching this on the rewind, I want to thank you for picking up the link, all that stuff. I'm Bob Turner. This is Live 365. I'm Bailey's dad. I'm Wendy's husband. And I'm a business coach and speaker and I guess a gatherer of people and motivator in some ways. Just trying to become a little bit better every day and realizing the journey that we're on is never really finished, trying to get better all the time. And I've been doing this 10-day series thing since I started. And this series is called The Leader You'd Follow. Okay. And throughout these 10 days, I've been kind of asking you guys this one question. What's it actually like to be led by you? Okay. Would you follow you is what we talked about on day 1. Day 2 We talked about how your energy enters the room before your words do. Okay. And yesterday, I challenged you guys to stop making people guess. Like what version of Bubba are we gonna get today, right? Um, be consistent, that kind of thing. You're the leader, okay? Today we're gonna find out what happens when to our leadership when things get hard, when they're not going according to plan. Because anybody can look great at 10 a.m. on a Friday when the checks are coming in and the crews are on the road and jobs are on schedule. Everything's great, right? Customers are happy. Nobody's complaining. There's money in the bank. Hey, everybody showed up today. Boy, I'm a great leader, right? The phone's not ringing with any problems. That's not where the leadership gets tested, guys. Leadership gets tested when, as I always say, the wheels start coming off the buggy. Okay. The wheels start coming off. All right. I spent a long time as a remodeling contractor, general contractor, doer of a lot of things. Okay. And I can tell you something about construction. Okay. A lot of you guys on here in some form of construction. Something's always going to go wrong. Okay. It it will. It's just going to happen. Okay. The material's not going to show up. The plumber's not going to make it. Somebody measured something wrong. Customer had a different expectation than you, maybe changed their mind. The weather screwed you. You were supposed to do the roof today or whatever, right? Something you ordered 6 weeks ago shows up. Yeah. You open it up, it's broken in half. Or you open up a wall to discover something nobody expected. Okay. And that's just construction. And really, that's business. Okay. That's life, right? The goal isn't to somehow create a life where nothing ever goes wrong. Right? Good luck with that. The question is, who do you become when it does? And how do you handle it, right? You've heard this saying, it's not what happens to you, it's how you deal with it, all that stuff, right? We got all the cliches here. But every fire or every problem doesn't need a fire alarm. Okay. Good morning, Corey Nacetta. Where you been, buddy? Good to see you. It's always good when Corey shows up. Yeah, I mean, here's something I've watched a lot of leaders do. Like something goes wrong and boom, they sound the alarm, right? Before anybody can figure out what happened. Who did this? How did this happen? Right? This is unbelievable. Does anybody around here pay attention? Right? And now we've got two problems. We got the original problem, and we have you. Sometimes the second problem is bigger than the first one. Okay, because now everybody's nervous, everybody's on edge, everybody gets defensive. Everybody's trying not to get blamed versus trying to solve the problem. Nobody wants to speak. All right. And we're trying to solve a problem inside an environment the leader just made 10 times worse and more chaotic. Okay. That's not leadership. That's adding your own gasoline to a fire you're supposed to be helping extinguish. Corey, that's great to hear, buddy. Appreciate you. It's hard sometimes to do this and watch the comments. Going squirrel. Yeah. Because guys, what's your first question? Like if something goes wrong, is it who did this, or is it what happened? Okay. I remember saying to the guys, they'd be like, "Oh, I don't know, Johnny did it." I'm like, "Hey, I'm less concerned about who did what and how we got here than how we're going to fix it. Like, what do we need to do to make this better right now?" We'll talk about the other stuff in a bit. Okay. There's Bill Gustafson with Bill, you keep coming at me with these names in France that I can't pronounce. Rhymes. Good morning, buddy. How are you? You know your people know you when you get a text at like, I think I got up at 4:20 and it said Bill Gustafson texted you 23 minutes ago about stuff in Germany. I love it. Yeah. Do you say who did this or what happened? Right? They sound familiar, but they're not. One starts with blame. Okay. The other starts with information. Okay. Before I go solving something, I need the truth. Like what happened? What do we know? Well, what's the immediate risk here? Right? What needs attention first? How do we stop the bleeding? Right? Turn the water off, whatever. Who's best equipped to handle it right now? Now we're leading. There'll be time for accountability and time to figure out why it happened. Okay. and there'll be time to make sure it doesn't happen again. But first, stabilize the situation. I'd like to wish Matt Moore a happy birthday today. Good morning, buddy, and happy birthday. 29 again, I'm sure. So we want to stabilize the situation. Like, so what? Now what? You've heard me say that before, right? Something happened. Maybe it's bad. Probably is. Okay. So what? Now what? Right? Not because we don't care. Okay. Not because we don't care. Not because there shouldn't be some consequences or some learning from it, right? But because once something happened, we've got a choice. Okay. We can spend the next hour emotionally wrestling with reality, or we can start figuring out what the heck we're going to do next. The truck broke down. Okay. Now what? Employee didn't show up. All right. Now what? Well, we lost the big job. Okay. Now what? What are we going to do? How are we going to fill the gap? Customer's pissed. Oh, okay. What are we going to do? Mistake cost us $5K. Oh, that sucks. Now what? So that's not ignoring reality. Okay. That's just accepting reality quickly enough to start doing something useful about it. Okay. And calm is not the absence of urgency. All right. Talk about being calm in the chaos today, if you're just joining us. And, it's not the absence of urgency. It's not like we don't care, right? I want to be clear about that. Being calm doesn't just mean moving slowly, right? Sometimes something needs to happen right now, okay? Hey, there's water pouring through the ceiling. Move, fix it now, okay? Or if it's a safety issue, boom, move, do it. Customer has an emergency. We're on it. Payroll is at risk. Fix it, right? That's urgent, okay? But urgency and panic are not the same thing. You can move quickly without losing your mind. You can be decisive without being emotional. And you can say, yeah, this is a big deal. Here's what we're doing. I always used to feel that way when we had a big hole in someone's house. It wasn't a mistake, but I'd be like, okay, we're going to get that closed up by the end of the day, right? But it would always have me on edge, right? It doesn't mean whatever. It'll work itself out, okay? That's not calm. That's just avoidance, all right? Calm means I understand the seriousness of the situation and I'm still capable of thinking, okay? Somebody has to keep their head. It's got to be you. Think about emergency situations. Speaking of Matt Moore, former first responder, we got firefighters and pilots and military leaders, emergency room doctors. Like, imagine if every time something went wrong, everybody just matched the emotion of the situation. It would be complete chaos. Somebody has to keep their head. And in your organization, that somebody needs to be you, okay? Not because you have all the answers. You won't. You might be asking people, hey, Matt, what do you think we should do here? Not because you're scared. Like, it's just you will be. And I mean, not because you get frustrated. We'd probably be frustrated, right? But because you've accepted the responsibility of leadership. You're the one leading. Good morning, Jess Novak. Hey, I saw your post. Did you just climb a 14,000 footer, or was that something from the past? I saw your post today. Either way, that's awesome. Yeah, people are looking at you and asking, are we okay? Do we have a plan? What happens next? Okay. Yeah, this sucks. And we're going to figure it out. That's leadership. Okay. We just recognize it. Okay. Don't confuse your anxiety with action. Rachel asks, as a leader manager, when you ask a team member to do something by X date and they do not complete it and didn't communicate that they did not get it done, once they know they wouldn't hit the deadline, what would Bob do? I would ask you, did you check in on progress? And then I would ask them, was there something that you need, something more you needed in order to be able to get that done? Okay. What tripped you up? Recognize that it didn't get done. Ask, where you might have been able to help, because I believe we all have some ownership in all of that stuff, right? And then I'd reset. Let's get it again. If it doesn't happen again, you probably got a problem. Okay. There's no accountability there. So make sure we put some accountability in there. All right. But going back to the other day, was there a why? Do they know why they're doing it? Sometimes that helps. Okay. Not just paint that wall. Well, paint that wall. Why? Because we're having a party on Saturday. It's very important to get it done. Whatever. Something like that. That was kind of off the cuff, Rachel, but I hope that helps. And I would add to that make sure you know your people, because you can tell two different people the very same thing. One will get it done, one might not. It's kind of like, what plate are you serving it up on? Okay. So find out what makes them tick. Okay. Let's talk anxiety for a minute. Don't confuse your anxiety with action, right? It's another trap we fall into sometimes. Like some leaders feel like if they're not visibly stressed, they're not taking the problem seriously enough. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Right? They start doing stuff. Everything's crazy and chaotic. They calling everybody, sending texts, changing the plan. Okay, jumping into everybody's work. Let me see what you're doing here. What are we doing? Making decisions without enough information. Okay, because action makes them feel like they're in control. Movement's not always progress, guys. Okay. Sometimes the best leadership move is just to stop, get the facts, ask questions, decide what actually matters. Okay. Then move. Your team doesn't need you creating 5 new problems while you're trying to solve the first one. Okay. Reminds me of a story my friend Phil Kornichuk told about, being in real trouble, during a deployment, when he actually had, people coming at him from everywhere, the enemy, and he just took a knee and said, okay, they were pretty well screwed, but he just took a knee, called a timeout, stopped, looked at the facts, asked the questions, looked at the options, and then decided what to do next. Okay. Sometimes you have to stop. All right. It's Friday to a Monday morning. Saturday was a busy in the flooring showroom. Yeah. It sounds like an excuse. So yeah, don't create new problems while you're solving the other one. All right. And people are going to remember like who you were in the hard moments, right? They probably aren't going to remember, most of the normal run of the mill Tuesdays that they worked with you, right? They're going to remember the hard days. They're going to remember when the big job went sideways. Slurpy slurp. They're going to remember when shoot, there was a hole in the roof and we didn't know what to do and the rain was coming. We figured it out, right? They're going to remember when you lost a customer, or, the company was struggling, or cash flow was tight, or, somebody made an expensive mistake, right? They're going to remember when someone on the team was going through something personally, okay? And they're going to remember who you were in that moment. I've got a few different stories about that. Did you disappear? Did you blame? Did you explode? Think of somebody you might have worked for in the past that you match this stuff up with, right? Did you do all those things, or did you make it about yourself? Or did you just step forward and say, all right, here we are. Here's where we're at. Let's figure it out. Those moments build trust or destroy it. Okay. You can run from that stuff, but if you do, in my mind, you're not a leader. Okay. And you kind of set the speed of recovery from things too, right? Like, you may not control what happens, but you can influence how quickly the team recovers from it. Okay. Like, it's not what happens to you, it's how you deal with it, all that stuff, right? A mistake can cost you a week. Excuse me. A mistake can cost you a day. Your reaction can cost you the week. Okay. A difficult customer can create, an hour or so of frustration. Your response can poison the entire company for the whole afternoon. Right? Probably think about a couple of those situations, right? Now, an employee can make a mistake. One person can make a mistake. Happens all the time, right? But your reaction can make 10 employees afraid to make a decision. Think about that. The event matters, but recovery matters too. Okay. And leaders have an enormous influence over the speed of recovery. So keep that in mind as you deal with this stuff. I like to ask a few questions, right? So next time something goes sideways, you can run it through this little, I don't know, call it a chaos filter or something, right? Ask yourself this: what actually happened? Facts first, okay? No assumptions, no blame, not looking around for who did what, okay? Facts, okay? So what actually happened is number one. Number two, what needs attention right now? Okay, so separate the urgent from emotional, okay? What's the immediate priority? Obviously, if something's leaking or something's on fire, right, we got to deal with it. People that work with me on a one-on-one basis, they'll know, they always say, hey, if it's on fire or underwater, you need to know about it, right? Otherwise, we want to try to, insulate ourselves. Okay. But what needs attention right now? And then number three, who needs to own the next move? What are we going to do? Right. It doesn't automatically have to be you. Say, hey, Matt, I see we got an issue there. Could you handle that? Who's closest to the problem? Hey, I know you're on site. Can you deal with it? Who's capable of solving it? Okay. And then the last one, what do we learn after the fire is out? This is a really important one. Okay. That's where the actual accountability comes in. Say, what broke down? What needs to change? What conversation needs to happen? How do we reduce the chance of it happening again? Don't conduct the autopsy, though, while the patient's still bleeding. All right. Let's get the bleeding stopped. Solve, stabilize, and learn. Okay. Kind of recap it. All right. So today, when something goes wrong, something goes according to plan, maybe it's small, could be big, but when it happens, and it will, catch your first reaction. Okay. Before you speak or send the text or blame or get pissed off, before you fire off the next email, just ask yourself this: what does the situation need from me? What does the situation need from me right now? Okay. Not what do I feel like doing? Well, who can I blame? Okay. Not how do I prove how pissed off I am? Like, what does this situation need from its leader? Maybe it's urgency or a decision or a conversation. You like that one, huh, Ben? Shoot. Yeah, maybe it just needs somebody to say, hey, we got this. Let's go. Follow me. Right? Yeah, there you go, David. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, guys, I hope this was helpful. All right. That's day 4 of our Be the Leader You'd Follow series. Be calm in the chaos, guys. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to pretend everything's fine. You don't have to become emotionless. But when everything around you gets louder, you don't have to get louder with it. Okay. When everybody starts reacting and getting chaotic, think. When everybody starts looking backward, look forward. When everybody starts asking, how did this happen? Make sure somebody's also asking, what are we going to do now? Where do we go from here? That's the leader I want to follow. Okay. I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. Please share this out to someone that needs to hear it, or reach out to somebody that just needs to hear from you today. Take care of your people. Take care of your business. Thanks, Corey. Yeah. Most importantly, take care of yourselves. All right. Get that oxygen mask on. Bill Hillstrom, good to see you, buddy. Tomorrow is day 5. The topic is have the conversation. All right. You know, that uncomfortable one. Yeah. Sometimes the chaos in our business isn't caused by the conversations we have. It's caused by the ones we keep avoiding. See you tomorrow, guys. Thanks, Rachel. Having an SSL framework really helps. Thank you. Appreciate you. Andrea, good to see you. Guys that jumped on. Guys that are watching on Rewind, appreciate you very much. Share it out to somebody who needs to hear it. I'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m., same time, same station. Take care, guys. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you.